Telemedicine is the distribution of health-related services and information via electronic information and telecommunication technologies. It allows long-distance patient and clinician contact, care, advice, reminders, education, intervention, monitoring, and remote admissions. Telemedicine is sometimes used as a synonym, or is used in a more limited sense to describe remote clinical services, such as diagnosis and monitoring. When rural settings, lack of transport, a lack of mobility, decreased funding, or lack of staff restrict access to care, telehealth may bridge the gap as well as provider distance learning, meetings, supervision, and presentations between practitioners, online information and health data management and healthcare system integration. Telemedicine could include two clinicians discussing a case over video conference, a robotic surgery occurring through remote access, physical therapy done via digital monitoring instruments, live feed and application combinations, tests being forwarded between facilities for interpretation by a higher specialist, home monitoring through continuous sending of patient health data, client to practitioner online conference, or even video phone interpretation during a consult. The development of multiple safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines in less than a year may be remembered as one of the greater scientific accomplishments in human history. The process was sped along not only by regulatory fast-tracking but also by innovations in the ways medical trials are conducted. Virtual clinical trials, held mostly online, ease the burden of participation. Combined with a spirit of collaboration rather than competition between pharmaceutical companies, they could pave the way for a bright future in drug development. Some of the relaxed regulatory procedures around drug development will fade with the COVID-19 pandemic, but innovative approaches to testing and collaboration could linger. An alliance between several pharmaceutical heavyweights, including Gilead, Novartis, and Wu-Zai-Aptec, has already begun collaboratively exploring new antiviral treatments and sharing preliminary data. The FDA has released guidelines for virtual trials, opening up a new frontier for the development and testing of new drugs. Healthcare's big data market is expected to reach nearly $70 billion by 2025, according to Bain, a consultancy firm. As the collection of health data continues to accelerate, its applications become more widespread, and its potential for improving treatment options and patient outcomes skyrockets. The biggest barrier, however, has been a lack of interoperability. One healthcare organization's data is not easily transferred to, and easily processed by, another organization. COVID-19 underscored that problem further. Interoperability took a large step forward in November 2020, when Google Cloud launched its Healthcare Interoperability Readiness Program. Aimed at helping payers, providers, and other organizations prepare for the federal government's interoperability regulations, it gives program participants access to data templates, app blueprints, security tools, and implementation guidelines. If healthcare organizations can get on the same page, the potential of the industry's big data could quickly turn kinetic. Nanomedicine is the medical application of nanotechnology, the technology that operates on the atomic, molecular, or supramolecular scale. For something of such a small size, the potential is huge. Nanomedicine has applications in imaging, sensing, diagnosis, and delivery through medical devices. Researchers are finding new ways to use nanomedicine to target individual cells, and in 2021, that research will be put into action. CIT Immune Sciences, a leader in cancer nanomedicine, has recently completed a phase I trial of using gold nanoparticles to target drug delivery to tumors. Blue Willow Biologics, a biopharmaceutical company, has developed nanotech that fights viruses and bacteria. If the biggest drivers of cutting-edge technology, AI, IoT, and big data, are to reach their full potential in healthcare, they need a reliable and lightning-fast internet connection. Enter 5G. With a reliable real-time connection, the most immediate benefits will be seen in telemedicine, expanding access to care for millions. But that's only the beginning. More connected devices, with more authentic data streams, open up the possibility of a revolutionized healthcare system. With next to zero latency, 5G connected sensors and medical devices can capture and transmit data nearly instantaneously. That will improve patient monitoring, which will in turn improve patient outcomes. Futurists are already considering the benefits of a marriage between 5G, healthcare, and robotics. But patients won't have to wait long to see a change. Experts say 5G-enabled devices will rapidly bring on a new healthcare paradigm. nicknamed 4P, which is predictive, preventative, personalized, and participatory. Digital assistants like Alexa and Google Home have changed the way people interact with technology. In 2021, those digital assistants are taking on a similar role in healthcare. Natural language processing and ambient listening have natural applications in the capture, analysis, and utilization of health data. In 2020, Epic and Cerner, the designers of the two largest electronic health records (EHR) systems, began integrating voice-enabled virtual assistants on their software. AI startup Skura has launched a new voice assistant that can listen to and understand a physician-patient conversation without being prompted through voice commands. The artificial pacemaker, which dates back over 100 years, is still a critical piece of medical technology. Over 1 million patients use them. By delivering electrical impulses to heart muscle chambers, they can prevent or correct life-threatening heart arrhythmias. Remotely monitoring these devices is an essential part of their functionality. Traditionally, that monitoring has been far from optimal, relying on complex interfaces that the patient may not fully understand. In 2021, pacemakers will get a little bit smarter. By enabling pacemakers with Bluetooth technology, they can be linked with smartphone-based mobile apps that patients better understand and utilize. That, in turn, will improve remote monitoring, and, as a result, patient outcomes. Medtronic, one of the largest medical technology companies in the world, has already rolled out its next-gen patient monitoring system for pacemakers. More will follow. If it's taking too long to get samples to the lab, why not bring the lab to the samples? That was the idea of researchers at Stanford University, who recently developed what they call a lab-on-a-chip based on CRISPR enzyme Cas12. About half the size of a credit card, it contains a complex network of channels smaller than the width of a human hair and can deliver a coronavirus test results in under 30 minutes. Researchers say that the test could be modified to detect other infections, too, by recalibrating the CRISPR enzyme for a different genetic marker. As the COVID-19 pandemic taught the world, testing is the first step in combating infectious disease. With a lab-on-a-chip, that testing can be done quickly, safely, cheaply, and more efficiently. Fitness trackers have been on the rise for years. Fitbit shipped 9.9 million of its wearable devices in 2019. But the next trend in wearables for medical technology is more specific. For diabetes patients, wearable continuous glucose monitors, CGMs, are set to become the new normal. Wearable CGMs remove the need for intermittent glucose testing and instead keep track of one's blood sugar levels in real time. This allows users to see the immediate impacts of food and exercise, and shape their lifestyles accordingly. It can also catch cases of hyperglycemia immediately. Medical technology companies are jumping in with 2 feet. Dexcom, a CGM developer, had revenue of $1.9 billion in 2020 and expects a 15 to 20% jump in 2021.
We made extra efforts to produce such kind of informative videos. If you feel that this video gives you some kind of valuable information, then like and subscribe this channel. Share this video with your family and friends. Hit the bell icon, so that you will not miss any such kind of informative videos.